call it a podcast. From the Mac of all trades studio in Fairport and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome. Thanks for getting your pod on. Thank you for telling a friend. Thank you for supporting those that support us, like BTB, where you can get the Philly mac and cheese macaroni. God, is that good?
Is it gone already?
Pretty close. Pretty close.
It's done.
All right, so Mark the Soldier's here, and Mark says, is that Joe Kelly's voice? It is not, but it's somebody you know.
Oh, it's Harry Legg.
It's Harry Legg.
Okay,
We've been doing this for how long, and you just now are realizing it's Harry? It just clicked? Like it just sort of, yeah. Isn't that funny? You hear something and hear something, and then all of a sudden it just jumps out one day. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. That's very strange. Matt is back, and he brought Dave Lippa, and we're going to get to all that stuff with Dave. We've been having Dave was the first one here. Like, it made me nervous. He came in, and I was like, I don't know, because you know what it is? It's the braided beard thing. I like that.
What's this biker want with
that's,
me?
that's what I was like, who did I piss off
These people
today?
don't hang out in Fairport.
Is he scarier than Baca?
He would. No, you know what? Here's the thing. He's got too friendly of a face. He's got too friendly. You're not a menacing looking guy, but he's got the sleeve tattoo and the I got it. I see this stuff.
Part of it is his sleeve.
No, the hair's tough. I think you're tough. I
Those
wouldn't.
Baca guys looked menacing until they sat down and talked.
Oh, that one Baca guy did look menacing. But Matt is back, and the big thing with Matt turned. Can I say?
Yeah.
50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why couldn't you say that?
Well, I don't know. That's a really good
Some women
question.
get upset about their age.
Some women do. I don't think Matt was very open. He was all over Facebook and everything else, so I shouldn't say that. But how did it feel different?
No.
It didn't.
You know what? It's like a celebration, though. Like, my dad passed away at 50.
See, this is why I was wondering if it felt different.
Since my dad died when I was 24, I was in my head that I would be dead by 50, if not sooner. You know?
Really?
I don't know why.
Did you live like you figured, fuck it, I don't care, whatever happens, I'll be dead by 50?
In the last probably 6-7 years.
Does that make life a little more fun and adventurous, though? I mean, I don't mean that in a negative way.
I mean, it could hurt down the road.
Okay.
Does your back hurt and your knee hurt yet?
I understand.
No. The back, yes. No, not the knees.
So it was not so it was sort of a big deal to you because of your dad.
Yeah. Other than that, it didn't feel any different, though.
Yeah.
I mean, 30 was hard for me.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
It was like a 6-month, fuck, I'm 30. My life is over.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I really thought,
here you are 20 years later.
I know.
Oh, is there anything as you look back? Because, 50 is a milestone. You're there, right?
Yeah, 53.
I'm there. I'm 52. Dave, are you there?
21.
Okay, you look it. You definitely. I would ID you anytime you walked in. You're 55?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't have put you that old. Not that that's any different than any one of us, really.
Bunch of 50-year-olds.
But when I know, right? Isn't that funny? It's like,
because I'm just over here being young.
Yeah, I know Kevin is younger than all of us, but it's a weird thing because I don't even feel. I feel like I got a lot of shit to do, and I'll tell you what. When you look at people who accomplish big things in life, the biggest years between 40 and 60. That's when Einstein came up with the incandescent light, the recorder, all this shit. Part of it is you're not fucking around anymore. And literally fucking around.
Right.
Like,
well,
you got all that energy.
Here's the hoping it happens soon for me because it hasn't happened yet.
40 to 60, he's just put out a
The
shitty
first
podcast.
10 years sucked, I have to tell you. 40 to 50 sucked. It better get better if you turn 50 and 60.
What is the 40 to 50 sucked?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's been a struggle.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Just
owning a business for those years.
Well, yeah. Well, you had the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It was tough.
Have you learned anything along the way that you look back and you go, man, I was sweating the wrong things? And I know this is sort of
you definitly stress.
Don't you a little bit
things,
like you start looking back and you go, what was I sweating that for when I should have been focused over here?
Yeah.
Doing the right thing. Is there anything that you look back and maybe regret at all?
Yeah, buying a fucking restaurant. I would never do that again.
You wouldn't.
No.
Now, I did see a Dave Ramsey thing that he says if your sure way to go broke is to buy a restaurant, but then I don't know how BTB, I just hear about it a lot. I've been in there. It's always got, it seems like a lot of people. Other people I know who own restaurants seem to be okay, but it looks like it's one of the hardest things, and mostly because of who you have working for you.
Yeah,
which
it's tough.
I think you probably have a great staff over there. I'm just saying, like, getting to that point's got to be like.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a struggle for them to get a solid staff that they have now. So,
yeah,
I mean, it's been 3.5 years.
Yeah,
and you still got that core staff.
Right,
but you're always trying to add that piece, and you think you add that piece, and a month later the person just no shows. You know, it's
tough. The Bills.
Yeah.
Just looking to add that last piece.
It's just for
50 years.
It's like living my Dallas Cowboys life all over. At the end, they're disappointed.
Later in the podcast, I have to say, I would like to get into this because you're back, and this is a big one, and is the NFL getting greedy? And I've got a whole bunch of reasons why I think, like, to the point where could they, and I don't think it'll happen soon, but could they start turning people away?
I think they're going to start.
Yeah,
losing.
I think you're right, but we'll hold on to that for just a second. Is there anything that no longer pisses you off that used to piss you off years ago? Because I have that as I've gotten older. I go, that used to really bother me, and I'm like, why did I even fucking care?
I don't think so off the top of my head.
No, nothing.
I have a lot longer fuse now than I used to, believe it or not, which is insane for me.
Yeah,
you know,
which is good.
Yeah, it takes more than just a snap of the finger to get me to snap now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's pretty good. I've done that. You know, you've been friends with him for a long time. Did you ever piss him off and get him?
Yeah, he choked me once.
You're kidding.
No. Did he donkey punch it too? His defense,
I figured it was something you did.
It wasn't me. It was him. His cousin. He's defending why he got choked. This is great. His cousin passed away, and we all went to the wake, and we were all drinking, and I don't know. I don't
remember what happened either.
I don't remember what happened.
Well, you have a fat mouth.
I didn't do anything. I didn't do a fucking thing.
He just choked you.
He was mad at somebody else, not me.
But you were chubby and you were the only one you could catch?
I was. My window was open. It was when we were in the car. We were in the car.
You were in a car?
Yeah.
I wasn't. He was. I reached through the window.
He did it through the window.
I got a big one on the hook.
See, now this is the thing. I have to think you said something.
I didn't. It wasn't me.
You shot some comment out that
or
window.
You threw the finger or something.
It wasn't me. It was a situation.
All right. I'll believe it. But Matt, you did post something and I called you to make sure you were cool to talk about it. But depression, and I think that there's a lot of people that are dealing with a lot of things, and I think there's a lot of residual from COVID stuff personally. Sure. But I have no idea if that's the case. But you were pretty open and honest, and I read some of the comments then, and it was I don't know how to. I guess refreshing would be the term. Yeah. That people felt like they had a place and a sounding board. Because you said you don't answer your phone, but if you call me about this, I will. And then there's somebody else who's going, you may not agree with my politics and my other thing, which I loved. And I only loved it because I wish we could all get back to that.
I agree.
Where we could stop. I won't talk to that person because I don't agree with their politics. But yet maybe they can relate to the human experience I'm having and give me some advice. And who gives a shit who you vote for? Shouldn't I just whatever. I don't want to get into that thing. But I saw that and I thought that was really very, very, I guess, cool. It seems a little bit of a weak word to me to say. I thought it was very admirable. Am I saying that right? No, I'm not.
Admirable.
But yeah, something like that. You work in schools. I figured you'd help me with the pronunciation now.
I work with an 8-year-old. I mean, I'm not going too fast.
You can relate great to this crowd. I just, but I did. I was like, wow, that's pretty fucking, because I had no idea. And you said something about shirts that you order and these things that kind of help you. What's like you've been dealing with this your whole life?
Looking back, I think I have.
Yeah. Didn't know it before.
Yeah, and I or just ignored it or pretended I wasn't. Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's probably been more prevalent over the last, say, 10 years.
Have you gotten help?
I have.
You have.
Yeah.
So because I'm going, boy, for somebody to talk about it, you got to be okay with it. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah. I saw a counselor for a while.
Did it help?
Counseling didn't really help.
I sometimes say the same thing.
It doesn't help. I just go so I can get my meds. Mm-hmm. Seriously.
Right, because they need to talk to you and make sure that
you have to go. You have to go and make sure you have to go once a year to talk to the psychiatrist.
Right,
and then my doctor will give me my meds.
Okay,
I have to go once a year. then I went to a counselor, and he died, so I haven't seen anybody since. That's my luck. My counselor dies.
Maybe that's a good thing. You don't have to go. You still got your beds. Who cares?
Yeah, we'll give you Danny's number after during the break.
That's not the number you want.
What about Doug? You might be.
Well, with all this stuff that you're dealing with, and the way you talked about it, I was like, wow. So how bad has it gotten for you?
There's times where it's there's times where it's really bad, and there's times where it's just you just kind of deal with it. And Dave and I talk all the time.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times you're so busy doing other things and for other people, you just forget about yourself and you don't think about it. So it's a lot easier that way.
Yeah.
Like I'll be glad I'll be the first person, so Dave, to jump up and help somebody. And I think that helps because then it takes my mind off, the shit I'm going through. Somebody else is going through something worse out there,
Yeah.
So that will sometimes turn to depression and say, it's really not that fucking bad. Kind of.
Right.
Get over it, Matt,
Yeah.
And
but the suck it up thing sometimes, I always think like you got to keep it in perspective of this is what you're dealing with. It's nice to know I'm not alone, right? I'm not alone in my thoughts. Other people are feeling things. People are going through stuff. But it doesn't make what I'm going through any necessarily easier. Yeah. It just makes it maybe a little more tolerable, I guess. But you also have to have somebody who's pretty strong in your life, and it sounds like you do with Natalie. Yeah,
for sure.
Austin looked like it was pretty cool.
Austin was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll take him
hot as balls.
Really? Oh, yeah, I forget
this time of year. Before the heat dome.
So they only get about 3 weeks of humidity like this every year, but they just went through those storms.
Yeah.
So we got there, it was 100 degrees every day, 100% humidity.
Holy shit.
It was like a sauna. It was bad.
Wow.
I like the heat.
Yeah, yeah.
Humidity's too much.
Yeah.
So the last day was 104.
104.
Yeah.
What was the index? Did they give you like
112?
Yeah, that's So it's even just that little bit of degrees, and you kind of can't tell.
The hotel, all the windows were all
steamed
wet,
up.
and as soon as you walked outside, it was like,
wow.
So I had to set it closer during the day, and then change clothes when you get home.
Really?
Yeah, it was 2 clothes a day, 2 sets. Bad.
A lot of laundry.
Everybody else is walking around fine. My fat ass is sweating like a pig.
I would have been right there.
We stopped at one place for live music, when we were walking, and my shirt was just soaked. I mean, we walked 6 miles that day. Me is soaked.
Yeah.
People are like, is this fat guy going to have a heart attack or what?
You're breathing, drinking, and begging for
give
water.
Me a goddamn beer, will you?
So then, what is Dave? How do you know Dave?
We met, it was 2017.
He's a friend of mine.
17, met through Mark.
Yeah, through Mark.
Dave's a friend of mine.
Okay.
2016, 2017.
Yeah, because when Mark just took over, so maybe was it 18, Mark?
Yeah, it was probably 17.
Was it before you came on?
It might have been before I came on, yeah.
Because we were doing the outside show with Trist, right? That's how we...
Well, Trist was afterwards, but you were on. Because you brought me in when you guys were all in a meeting.
Yeah, that's right. Because that's when we did the glasses first, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So Dave what is the name of the organization?
It's not even anything.
Not.
It's just me. It's
just you.
Stop the 22 a Day, which was designed when I first started doing this to help veterans, bring awareness to veterans that struggle from PTSD, mental health, depression, all that stuff. It was just to get people to start talking so that...
or we can crank that up towards them. You can lift that up there. What's the... so what is your connection with that? I think I asked you, were you in the services?
I never served.
Never did.
I just started riding a motorcycle in 2013, and I wanted to do something that was meaningful and worthwhile, so I joined the Patriot Guard Riders.
Okay.
And standing flag line with a bunch of veterans and me not serving, I'm watching some of these veterans that struggle from PTSD, and I wanted to do something to bring awareness to them.
Right.
For me not serving, I wanted to try to give back to them. And that's where it all started. And it started selling a patch like the logo is on that pint glass.
Yep.
It was a patch, and I sold, I think, in a year over 500 of them. And next thing you know, the person that I was actually selling the patch for, who actually designed it, he disappeared.
What do you mean disappeared?
I wasn't able to order anything anymore.
Oh.
So Facebook is a wonderful thing. It took a year for me to find him, but I asked him if I can take that logo over and take it to another level. And 2016 is when, actually yesterday, 8 years, I lost my best friend to suicide, who was a federal agent.
Okay.
So I'm doing this more or less, even though he wasn't a veteran, I'm doing a lot of this in his memory to try to get people to start talking. And when I met with Matt, alcohol and mental health do not mix whatsoever.
Right.
And I don't promote that at all. What I do is when they sell these glasses at BTBs, and back then it was Bathtub Billy's, it's to get people to start talking. So if you see someone drinking out of that pint glass, you're going to say, what does that mean?
Right.
And then it brings up a conversation. So like I tell everybody, the conversation's always good to have, to strike up whenever. And when we started with Matt, I mean, he said, bring them all in. And I forgot how many we started with in one day. And
we started.
I think I made 3 trips to Bathtub Billy's with, I think we sold 70
glasses that day,
over 100 glasses in that first day.
Right.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I mean, it was unbelievable. It's like I'm out. I have to get more, you know. And my vendor at the time was really good. He was able to produce them really quick for me. But, you know, my biggest thing is, as men, we're not supposed to show our feelings. You can't show your feelings.
Yes.
You know. But what I try telling people is the strongest person in the room is the one that can express how they're feeling and express their feelings when they are struggling. And, you know, I have talked to Matt, but I didn't know he was to that point to where he was struggling that bad. But we've had conversations, and like I tell Matt or tell Mark or anybody, my phone's on 24/7. So I'm constantly talking to veterans, first responders, and just people in the community that are struggling.
So this just out of the goodness of your heart. You have no psychology training or anything like that?
Nope. It's my professional opinion.
You've probably learned a ton.
I'm still learning.
Yeah, I'm not learning. Right, sure. But I bet you have come, you know how to talk to people, let them speak, when not, you know, be, I guess, a better listener than talker.
Right, because a lot of times people that are struggling, they don't want to hear you.
Right.
They want to be able to have someone be a sounding board so that they can talk how they're feeling. And the biggest thing is to be non-judgmental. And that's why people have a hard time going to counselors, therapy, doctors, because especially veterans, before you go and see the VA or a lot of different places that have professional counselors that went to school to actually give you advice, which I highly recommend people go to those organizations.
Mm-hmm.
But
sometimes it's easier, though, to talk to a friend or someone I see as a friend.
Exactly.
I would think.
And you can't lose anything with me.
Yeah.
My opinion doesn't matter. What matters to me is that you're able to express how you feel 100% and know you can walk away at any time and be able to express how you're feeling. And
so you know that the term that every time I hear it, I would cringe, right? And then I had to look into it further. Toxic masculinity, right? We hear about this. But it's exactly what you just said at the beginning. It's where guys felt like they couldn't talk about how they were feeling, and they had to be like these big, tough pillars of whatever, of humanity that, you know, I can bear it all. And really, you can't. And that a man is now, it's become like this thing where it's to overtaking culture. I go, okay, well, hold on a second. Let's bring it back a little bit here. What was really meant to help guys. That was the original term for exactly what you just said.
Yeah, I mean, we were brought up. That's the way my father's generation, my grandfather's generation, and the generations before him, we were always brought up. You don't show your feelings. You have to be strong.
Man up.
Got to suck it up. Like you said earlier, suck it up.
Suck it up.
Well,
man up.
Yeah, it's not the time and place anymore. It's a different day and age. And I mean.
And by the way, we're not talking about being a big weepy.
No, not at all.
We're not having a knitting club over here. It's just like, you know, guys.
If you want to knit, go ahead. I mean, if it helps.
I don't mean it like that. If that works, you're right, Dave. My bad.
I mean, we're trying to say, he's trying to tell you, you know,
what I'm saying
is you go, all of a sudden you go.
Well, I don't mean it like that. And
sometimes me and Dave get together, we knit a nice little blanket, we share it.
You have a nice napkin, you curl up.
Bill pretty much just shit on the
No, I didn't. Hold on.
We were talking about
you pretty much
shit
by Matt.
All right, what I was trying to do was say that while some people may hear this as like a soft, it's not that. It's guys who are like listening to each other and supporting each other in a way that isn't going to be where some people might go, that's not for me. Because I still think there are guys who go, that's not for me. It's not for
100%.
me. But this is different. This isn't. Look at Dave. You know, and here's what I think too. I don't know you from anything, but I think you would shoot somebody straight. I think you would say to somebody, "Hey, listen, I want to call you on a little BS here. Don't let these things. Here's somebody who you may be able to help you, but I'm going to check in with you again tomorrow."
Right, and I am.
He's checked it on me before.
I'll be honest. I'm a pain in the ass. I really am, because you being here tomorrow is more important.
Yes.
To me than. Until the whole thing is, until you actually physically lose somebody, you'll never get it.
Yeah,
you'll never understand it. You'll never get it, and it goes for a bunch of different, types of people that pass away. You're just never gonna get it unless you've been a part of it,
right?
And like we were talking earlier. Yesterday was my best friend's anniversary. Yeah. I mean, he was a federal agent, and it was his third attempt. I was with him before his third attempt, almost every day, every weekend, helping him around the house. But his brain was not working properly. I mean, he had some other issues. But, we can say it was selfish. We can say a lot of things. And I will put it out here. I'm pissed at him. I really am. Yeah. But I can also say I understand it.
Yeah. And I was going to say, I sometimes don't always agree with the selfish part. I think they're in so much pain that they see no way out. And no matter what you're doing, it's just the pain is too much.
Until you have been with someone every day, and then after they're gone, and this took me a year to get, but I read his note, and he was in a very dark place, and he was struggling. And there was nobody that was going to get him out of that place. And like I've always said, we don't know what's going on the inside.
No.
Because we all had that big, huge smile. If you didn't know Matt or you didn't know Mark, I mean, half the time they're smiling all the time. You wouldn't know how much pain that.
No, that's the thing. It's like I would have never known with Matt.
And we
I would have known with Mark, because Mark he's always complaining about something.
Well, yeah, but you got to look past that sometimes. But
see, he's totally just shit on this segment.
I didn't shit on it.
He's the worst.
I did not. So I know somebody who was institutionalized, right? Caught early, institutionalized. And what they would do is take away every privilege you have. So you started to
it makes it worse.
When
appreciate taking a walk was the point. But I don't know.
When you go in there, you're giving up your rights.
Yes.
And you go in, you're totally giving up everything.
Yeah.
And you have to know that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you don't know that.
No, I don't think people do.
But the last time that I had a breakdown, I refused to fucking go.
Yeah.
Because I'm not losing my rights. I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to have them take everything.
Did you ever go before?
Oh, I've been in a freaking loony bin a couple of different times.
Okay. Yeah,
it's not a nice place.
No, it is not. It's not.
And then you see people that are really crazy, that are really mentally ill.
Right.
Really like
Yeah.
they can't control any, they can't control.
Did it help you at all?
No, it didn't. It didn't help at all. It made things worse.
Made things worse.
They take you and they throw you in a green room. It's like you feel like you're in jail. That's how you're treated.
Wow.
Yeah. And at least that's the way it is at General. And I don't know where it is anywhere else, but
I'm not too privy on a lot of that stuff. My thing is to try to catch people before they get to that point.
So how do people help your organization?
It's just.
Can we find you on Facebook?
I'm on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm constantly.
Just Dave Lippa?
Yeah.
LIPPA?
Yeah. Okay. I'm just constantly putting stuff out there. My biggest thing is buddy checks. My biggest thing also is just get people to talk. I mean, I'm at events every weekend, sometimes 2-3 events in one day, and this takes a lot of time out of my personal life.
Sure does.
And like I try telling people, if you think I want to be at these events every weekend, I miss out with my girlfriend, I miss out stuff with my grandson. But you know what? It's at one event that I'm not at.
Yeah.
That there's going to be someone looking. And that's already happened to me once before, where I had someone pull me outside at an event for me and start crying and tell me today was my last day. I listened to you talk, and all my letters were written, and I wasn't going to be here tomorrow. And
That's got to freak you out a bit. Right?
It does. You know, I don't. My thing is when people tell me that, I don't know if I should be sad or happy because. Yeah.
I think my instinct would be to give the person a hug. I know that sounds weird, but I think I would want to like grab them and pull them in and go, "You're okay."
Right.
Glad you heard it.
You know, I have a list of people I do check in on to make sure they're okay. I mean, some of them are a couple times a week, some are every other day. I got a guy from I forgot what state he's in. His father lives here. I mean, 3-hour conversations on my phone just to make sure that he's okay. And I mean, we may go over the same thing over and over and over again, but until he's done and he feels better, that's when the conversation's over. I don't say, well, I got someplace to be. The conversation has to end now. Yeah, I don't end the conversations. I mean, the phone calls I get, they're unbelievable. But to do it face-to-face with someone as they're crying and telling you today was my last day, I mean, I think I mean, I don't put myself up here on a pedestal. I put the community on that pedestal because without their support, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. And for people to trust me enough, knowing that I'm not a professional and be able to talk.
I think that almost makes it better.
You know,
I'm sorry.
Because you can actually relate to it.
Yeah. And
you're not relating to a doctor.
How many times do you hold back a little bit because you're afraid, like Mark said, you lose your rights? Are they going to send me somewhere else? One of my...
Oh, man.
Right?
Yeah, you can't trust... Yeah. You can't trust a doctor when it comes to this, when it comes to something like this, because
I'm sorry to hear that, dude. I didn't know.
They got to protect themselves.
Yeah.
The doctors.
Yes.
They don't care about.
Well, because it's also the insurance and who's going to sue and what's going to happen to malpractice.
But then all of a sudden you get someone like Dave that's around, and that kind of makes it
Dave, would you ever, do people help you? Like try to help you grow it all? Do you have I
have a really good group of people, whether they're elected officials, police departments, a lot of few first responders, that their organizations support what I do, because I do bring awareness to our first responders.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. What you said, a guy's talking to you for 3 hours, right? You're not going to chase him on the phone. But if that's at noon on a Wednesday and you got to work, you almost wish you could go, hold on, I'm going to connect you with somebody who has the time, somebody who's working a third shift or something, and is a friend of yours. You can't do that.
It's just me.
Yeah, I know.
Just me. I take as much time as I can. I mean, it's hard when I'm at work. And
well,
people do understand, but if there's someone that's had enough and they really need to talk, I mean, I'll
yeah. Sometimes though, if you can say to someone,
I don't pull over, but I do.
But it might be nice sometimes though to say, I'm gonna call you right at 5:30. Just hang tough. Can you hang till 5:30? Yes, I can. And then
depending on how they are when I first originally called.
Sure.
I mean, if I feel that we can wait till 5:30, if they're not at their end.
Yeah.
You know, where if I don't talk to you right now, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, but if they are able to talk at a later time and it's not an emergency, I'll say.
Yeah.
Then we do set up time.
How can people donate? Because nothing runs on air. I mean, you're running out all the weekends. There's gas. There's stuff. I mean, I'm
not gonna lie. I've invested a lot of money in this. My financial guy is a little pissed at me.
Sure.
I lost both my parents within 3 months right before COVID, and I'm not gonna lie, my inheritance is gone because I invested so much into this.
Yeah.
And basically, I'm in the hole. I mean, my whole thing is I'd rather be in a hole financially than have to dig one for somebody.
I got that.
I do set up shop. I mean, I do have merchandise I do sell, and a portion goes to.
But is there anywhere someone can donate through like a website or something to you?
No.
There's not.
No, I mean, if people want to donate, they can hit me up on Facebook, and I can give them my Venmo.
How to do that? I got you. Okay.
Venmo or something like that. I try not to because it's hard. Especially
well, you don't want to look like you're. I understand and I get it. You don't want to look like you're begging in order trying to do something. But if you're doing this work, I think
I don't do it for money. I mean, like I said, I'm in a hole. I mean,
but there may be somebody listening or who hears this, and the great thing about a podcast is
right. I mean,
it's got legs. It'll stay around for a while. And if somebody's listening and hears it and goes, "Man, I had an aunt, I had a cousin, my best friend, just like Dave." They may want to donate to say, "Hey, I appreciate what you're doing," and even if it's a $25 Venmo, it can go a long way.
Yeah, it does. It does, and I mean, it's tough. You never know how much you're reaching people with what you do. I mean, a year ago, March 31st, my other pickup truck caught fire in my front yard. And
what happened?
Faulty taillight or something?
Faulty taillight.
Yeah. Faulty tail. You had an electrical fire?
Yeah.
It started in the taillight and got to where? The gas tank?
Nope. The whole back end. Long story short, we had a medical emergency at the house. The fire department and ambulance just left. And the person that had the medical emergency, they were putting her in a car to go home. Uh-huh. And as they were leaving, they yelled in, "Dave, your truck's on fire. You know what? Tomorrow's April Fool's."
Right.
So I said, you guys are a day early. They said, "No, Dave, there's flames out the back of your truck." And I went out there, and there's flames out the back of my truck, and the fire department had to come back, put out the fire. And at first we thought it was arson, but my house is like Fort Knox. I got cameras all over the place. And it actually showed the fire start in the taillight. And like Matt was saying, there's always something worse that could have happened.
Sure there is.
I mean, normally
that could have been horrible. Man, that thing could have exploded, blown out a window in your house, and then that catches on fire. As debris flying it, what I mean? Yeah.
Well, the whole thing is I normally park up against the garage.
Thank God.
On a Friday night, and before 10 o'clock, I'm old. I'm usually in bed, and we have our grandson over. I would have never known that the truck was on fire, and I would have known once it got to the bedroom. And so the person that parked in the middle of a double-wide driveway, I was joking around, but I'm glad they did because they saved our lives, not even knowing it. So after the truck caught fire, I actually found out how much I mean to a lot of people. It was just a truck. To everybody, it should have been just a truck. To me, it was more than a truck. But I had people wanting to run events. I had people that wanted to do GoFundMes, and I told everybody no.
Well, the truck is fully wrapped with everything, and save the 22 and everything. So it's not just a pickup truck. This thing is fully wrapped with everything. So the
new truck is beautiful.
Yeah, and the other one was nice too, though.
But this one here,
they
went
did a nice
over
job.
And about, and it's just two people did a GoFundMe and didn't ask me, and we raised a little bit of money. It was enough to get a down payment on the truck, but I mean,
perfect. That's got to make you feel great, and that's got to motivate you to keep going.
100%. And we did a truck unveiling. We went to BTB's and did an unveiling there, and it wasn't about donations. It was about giving back to the community that donated and tried to help me out. And BTB's is a huge supporter of what I do and has been since 16, 17.
Well, is there anything you don't?
It's not just us, though. He's got a ton of bars and restaurants that sell these glasses. Uh-huh. So basically, you buy the glass for $15 and your first drink is free. I don't know if everybody does that. I think they do. We do it. You can do a beer, you can do a drink, whatever you want to do in it. You can do Pepsi if you want to do it.
Sure.
But you get to keep the glass, and money goes back to Dave, obviously, and he's able to buy more glasses and donate some money, so it works out well.
Good stuff, man.
I try. What I try to do is try to get people not feeling how I still feel today. I lived June 9, 2016 between 1:30 and 4:30 every day, and I have my own personal struggles, but living that on what I could have done, should have done.
Yeah,
nothing would have saved them.
Right.
But that's my whole thing, is getting people not feeling the way I still do.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine that, because I would think that you'd be all the time going, man, I was just there, whatever.
He's going to hate that I tell you this, but he was just honored with the ESL, what is it,
the Jefferson Award.
Yeah.
So he was one of the recipients of it.
Good.
And he tried to give it back and say, no, give it to somebody else.
That's how. What are you, Dolly Parton?
The nomination was fine with me. I don't need an award. I'm very grateful and very happy that I got it. I want the award to be focused on the mission and not me.
Good.
I don't want.
That's all right.
Me to be the focus. I want.
Well, I think getting that award also brings more awareness to what you're doing, which may bring more money and more eyes and help more people.
Right.
Which is a great thing.
100%.
Right. So, I think you got to be rewarded for what you're doing a little bit. It's nice to know the community appreciates it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Working full time and trying to be a grandfather and a boyfriend and all this other stuff. It takes a lot of time away from home.
Yeah, me a boyfriend. Fuck that. It's like too much work already right there.
They should find him on Facebook and follow him on there. And then sometime in July, and Dave and I haven't talked about this yet, but we'll get together on a Saturday and do something where if you come in for dinner and buy dinner, I'm going to donate a glass to you.
Okay.
So we'll do something like that, hopefully on a Saturday. I know his schedule's pretty booked, but he'll be able to set up merchandise table and stuff like that.
Nice. All right, yeah. Let me know. I'd love to make sure we push that a lot.
And then also when the Music Fest happens on August 3rd, if you're available, obviously you set up your tent there and sell your merchandise.
Nice. We'll take a moment and we'll get we'll change it to the NFL. Because there's a whole bunch of stuff, and I think you're going to be with me on this, but I don't know. And you're going to have a better perspective on it because you are a season ticket holder for two teams.
Yeah,
which I don't think I know anybody who's a season ticket holder for two teams.
Yeah, there's not that many dumb people out there.
I don't think I know anybody. We will get to that. But BTB Woodfire Pizza and Grill in the mall at Grease Ridge. So the specials this month. Last week we had the chicken spinach artichoke. No, we
had the chicken apple.
The chicken apple. That's right. The chicken apple. That was so good with the cheddar cheese and now we have, is it the, what am I eating here? Because
Philly mac and cheese.
Philly mac and cheese. Okay. The Philly mac and cheese is so damn good that I would have inhaled it already if I wasn't trying to pace myself and not pig out in front of Dave like a animal. But the specials this month, the salt and pepper wings are on special, right? That's a shareable.
Yep.
So it's perfect. So if you go in there to watch Stanley Cup, NBA Finals, the NBA Finals, I'm a little disappointed.
It's early. Yeah,
is it?
It's early.
Because I'd like to see Dallas at least get a couple here.
They're going to get a couple.
And I don't know what's going on with Kyrie's sneakers, but I don't know. They look like moccasins.
They'll get some in Dallas.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. Because I figured it's until somebody wins a road game that the series really starts.
Both these teams have been pretty bad at home this year. So for both of them to be winning at home is crazy.
Yeah.
Or at least during the playoffs, they haven't been that good.
But we did. We had the chicken apple panini last week. That was absolutely phenomenal. Then the strawberry Pop-Tart Blonde, which is your dessert of the month. I got to think that would be put that on like a little cap there at the end. You still have the patios open. The bar's there.
Yep.
You can go get the bikini martini.
It's going to warm up this week.
Yes, it is. It's going to be in the 80s by the weekend.
Out there today, but
Yeah, no, but by the weekend it'll be great.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing. Inside, outside, and all the games, 50 TVs. It's BTB Woodfire Pizza and Grill. Make sure you get in there in the mall at Grease Ridge. Delicious food, tasty drinks, and great times await right there at BTB Woodfire Pizza and Grill.